Sorry about that. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi.
And I'm Charlotte.
And today we have the 2024 Kia Forte5 GT. Now this vehicle is a unicorn for a couple reasons. Number one, the Kia K5 or Kia Forte5 does not exist in the States from what I know.
No.
And the GT trim level, not the GT Limited, just about doesn't exist here in Canada, although it does. The last one we had was, I believe, in 2021 when I first started selling cars and I sold a beautiful gravity blue one to a customer of mine. Since then, we haven't seen anything in the full GT trim.
So we're super excited to have this vehicle here today, and we think that it could be an interesting alternative for those who may be considering a smaller SUV, but without going up in price. You can see that there's going to be a lot of comparable items and some interesting stuff about this vehicle, so stay tuned to see if this is the vehicle for you.
For sure, and in true Kia and Hyundai channel fashion, we're going to do a full interior and exterior review, and it is a live video, meaning that we're doing this in real time with no script. It's raining outside. The audio might be off. We didn't have our microphones on in the beginning. It's chaotic, but we try to make it the best we can as informative as possible. We also do these videos for 3 separate reasons. Number one being, if you own a Kia or Hyundai vehicle, we want to give you all the information there is to know about these cars, whether it be tips and tricks for service, maintenance on your vehicle, and just general features you may have not known about. Right, Charlotte, I'll give the next one to you.
The second reason is that if you guys are considering purchasing a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, we'd love it if you considered Kia or Hyundai as a brand and include them in your search. They've done a lot of really cool stuff and it's not going to stop. So, so definitely worth checking out if you haven't.
And then number 3, if you are in Canada, which is where we are.
We live here.
We live here, and more specifically Ontario, that's the province where dealership is based in. We have 3 different dealerships that are here to help you out. So Brantford Kia, where we film every day, Brantford Hyundai, which is about 10 minutes down the road, and then Owen Sound Hyundai, which is about an hour up north.
An hour? It's like 3 hours.
If you drive pretty fast. If you're driving a Forte5, you can get there in an hour.
Yeah.
I did not condone that. Now, of course, we will get into the live walkthrough right after I show you guys how you can join our next live video. So I might have Charlotte grab this for a second. So to catch us live, all you have to do is find our channel, which is conveniently called the Kia Hyundai channel. Very, very creative name. On this channel, you'll be able to search for any video you're looking for using that magnifying glass right over there. But if you want to see us live, all you got to do is go to the Home tab or our Live tab, refresh it at around 2 p.m. and you'll see today's live video. Give that video a click, it'll load you in, and then you're now live with us. What makes going live with us really, really fun is you get the chance to add in your comments right over there. So if you type in the chat box, I'll do a demonstration. You can say things like hi, or you can let us know if you'd consider the Forte5 over a smaller SUV, which is our big question for today's video. Let's take a look inside. So this vehicle is showcased in Snow White Pearl, which is what I drive on which is what I have on my Kia Forte. Looks absolutely stunning, and in true GT form, we have some beautiful sporty red accents in our front grille. So we'll take a closer look. You'll see there's a lot of a glossy black finish along the bottom, red piping along the sides, showcasing your beautiful full LED fog lights. Moving on up, we have a full LED headlight system. This also incorporates automatic high beam assist or intelligent high beam assist, meaning that once I turn on my high beams, if my vehicle picks up another car, it's going to shut them off until it's safe to turn them back on again. So you don't have to worry about blinding anybody with these bright boys. To the left of that, or maybe your right, we have our GT badging. So whenever we have a vehicle with a straight GT badge, that typically means it is a great car. It's going to be a lot of fun, and more specifically, this vehicle is going to incorporate a 1.6 liter turbocharged GDI engine with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. We're also going to have some changes like a whole completely different rear suspension and larger disc brakes, which I'll get into more in a second. Let me pop the hood and I'll show you that engine. Woo! So this engine is shared with the smaller or sedan style Forte 4, just regular Forte. Let's open it up, try not to slip. So there's our engine, 1.6 liter turbocharged, like I mentioned, outputting 201 horsepower with 195 pound-feet of torque. This vehicle is also only front-wheel drive here in Canada. So another comparison, if you are comparing this to something, let's say the Seltos you can either get in front-wheel drive, or if you're looking to spend a little extra cash, you can also get the all-wheel. Moving on to the side, let's talk about our wheels. These are 18-inch alloys, and they are exclusive to the GT and the GT Limited Forte5s. You'll notice we have some red accents in the very center, beautifully tying this vehicle with its front and rear end design elements. Carrying over again with the sporty look, whenever we have glossy black mirrors, I always think it breaks up the vehicle really, really well. Doesn't matter which exterior you get, this ties in very nicely. And it'll look completely seamless if you get the black exterior paint. We also have our turn signal indicator right over here, and blind spot detection is also incorporated on the mirror side. So essentially this vehicle is going to be monitoring your blind spot at all times, and that icon will illuminate if it senses a vehicle back there, either on your left or right side. On top of that, once I indicate a turn or a lane change, my car will beep inside to let me know that it is not safe to do so. All right, come check out the back. So one of my favorite things about the car, business in the front, party in the back. It's a hatchback, baby, hence the Forte 5-door. So if we open this up, you'll see we got a lot of space. So something that definitely makes this vehicle a bit more favorable than something, let's say, like the regular Forte sedan. The space is much more open and usable. Also great if you want to camp in your car. I saw a post on a Forte group on Facebook that someone did camp in their Forte 5 and it was comfortable. Depends on your height, I guess.
Something that's really interesting just about the trunk as well, so since we're talking about if it's comparable with an SUV, is there is an 11-liter difference between this and the Seltos. So the Seltos, with the rear seats up, the trunk space is 752 liters. This is 741 liters, so you're getting a very, very, very similar trunk size.
Yeah, and lower price and more fun. Emphasis on the fun part. Back here, we do not have a spare tire. We do get a mobility kit, however, and there is room for a spare if you choose to put one in. Now, this is also removable, so if you don't want a cargo cover, unclip it. You can tuck it underneath that floorboard there or keep it somewhere in your house or garage. It does not take up too much space. On top of that, your rear seats do fold down almost completely flat. Let me demonstrate. Oh, there we go. So you can see an ever so slight incline, but for the most part, completely flat. Let us know if you want us to do a camping video in the Forte 5. Might not happen.
Please no.
Please no. All right, so for the very back, one more thing I want to mention is, again, we get that GT emblem and then full LED taillights. This vehicle is also equipped with rear cross traffic alert. That's a bunch of words, but it also does a bunch of things to protect you and your vehicle. So when you have your vehicle in reverse, it's going to be constantly monitoring what's going on around you. If we're backing out of a busy parking lot and there's two cars parked beside me, it may be hard to see someone coming up from behind, whether it's a pedestrian or a car. But your car sees it and it will let you know, and it will provide emergency braking if it senses the risk of a collision greatening. So pretty smart. And then we will walk past to the front again. And one more thing I will mention to you guys is the forward collision avoidance. So this vehicle is equipped with a great safety feature called forward collision avoidance. Not only does that pick up other vehicles, it's also going to pick up pedestrians. So if you're driving this vehicle in the city and there's constantly things happening around you, it's constantly searching for safety. Now, if you fail to react when it senses the risk of a collision, the vehicle again will brake for you, avoiding said collision. Just very, very great peace of mind and a great safety feature to have. All right, I'll now switch with Charlotte.
Okay, so now we get to go and take a look on the inside. So something first that we'll mention is that you do have a touchless entry, or keyless entry, my apologies. So you are able just to press that and hop in, and that also comes with a push button start, which starts on the GT for this vehicle. So something I want to highlight is we're going to have a lot of fun and sporty accents in this vehicle. So maybe it's even more fun than an SUV. So you can see that with the seating is we have a sport style seat, so it is manual, and it is a mix of black synthetic leather with a cloth overlay on the bottom of the seat, and then also some super fun red piping tying in from the exterior of the vehicle onto the inside. And you can see that a little bit more with the driver's side door. You can see we got some nice glossy piano black too, windows, mirror controls, all of that good stuff.
And red stitching.
And red stitching, there it is. When you hop into the Forte, we do have alloy pedals, so you can see them down there. Again, they start on this vehicle.
Well, there's a sticker on them, but
yeah,
they are alloy.
That does not come with the car, don't worry. And then also we have a sport style steering wheel, so it is leather wrapped, again, with that red piping and GT badging at the bottom. And then also these super fun air vents. I think they add to the sportiness of the vehicle. It reminds me of a jet turbine, actually.
So with something like a more sporty steering wheel, would you expect this car to have the comfort that it does? Like the heated steering wheel that's all the way around?
That is a good question. And I mean, ultimately, no, because when you think of that, usually you're thinking of, you know, you're doing anything you can to get a little bit less weight. But I love the comfort of this vehicle. Like you said, it's leather wrapped, fully heated all the way around. And the seats are super comfortable too. Super comfortable for being manual.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty great.
Very, very comfy. So an emphasis on the seats themselves is there's going to be a bit more bolstering than, let's say, a regular Kia Forte, just because it is the turbocharged fun GT trim.
Right. I like that though.
Do you want me to join you on the passenger side?
That would be great. Please do.
All right, and then the front end again. The Forte just looks so good. So from the very, very front, you could not tell this is a hatchback, and then it surprises you. Okay.
Hello.
Hey.
So this vehicle, it's got a very moody feel when you come into it, and that in touch has to do with the headliner too. Gabby, I know you like a darker headliner.
So much more fun.
There you go. This vehicle is super fun. One thing I did forget to mention is on this side of the steering wheel is you do have your controls for your brightness adjuster, also your blind spot detection to enable it or disable it, and your traction control too. So that's all there. For the steering wheel, same breakup. We have our media controls or our convenience controls on this side with our driving controls like cruise control, also lane keep assist, lane follow assist on this side of the steering wheel, which Gabby touched on as she went outside. Super sporty feel when it comes to being the driver. We're keeping it all analog, so I know that may seem like an odd thing to mention, but with most things being digital nowadays, it's nice to have an analog tachometer, also your speedometer, and gasometer for fuel economy.
Speaking of analog, one thing I really do like about this Forte 5, manual handbrake.
That's what I was going to say. I would be so disappointed if they did an electronic parking brake on this car. But when it comes to entertainment, we'll talk more about that, is you can see that we do have a lovely 8-inch screen here. So that gives you the wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So you're able to do that. All you have to do is press there and you're able to enable it. Something also excellent starting on the GT is we're going to have Kia Connect. So that's Kia's telematics system. So it gives you a little bit of smartphone integration. You can start the vehicle, you can set the cabin control, you can lock, unlock it, all of that good stuff. Also down here, you're going to see our media controls, and we have pretty minimal piano black in this vehicle, so it's going to be good for fingerprints, so it's nice that this is just a little bit here and then down at the bottom. 2 vents, of course, and then your climate controls. So they are dual climate controls, so if I want one temperature set and Gabby wants another one, we can do that freely. And it also has an auto defogging system. So if you are like me and it's foggy and your windshield is fogged up, if you press on that, it will automatically defog it and put it at the correct temperature. That way you don't have to try to figure out the right temperature and play that guessing game with your windshield. So that's excellent. We have a wireless phone charger, little compartment here if you want to put change or your essentials, and then also we have a USB, we have a 12 volt, and then another USB for charging. Perfect. Leather wrapped gear shift, heated seats in the front, so adding to that comfort even though it is a very sporty vehicle. Your heated steering wheel, and of course we have drive modes, because I don't think this vehicle would be complete without the sport mode. Woohoo! So that'll be super fun, especially because with the 7-speed DCT, and with that, I almost forgot to mention we do have paddle shifters. They do start on the GT, so again, keeping with the sportiness, if you want to manually gear down, you can definitely do so.
Sweet.
We also have smart mode, if anyone was wondering.
Sheldon,
Don't worry.
What's smart mode?
You don't even need smart mode. You just want to put in sport mode the whole time.
Hey, and I wouldn't blame you. This car truly shines in sport mode. But here's another thing that may influence somebody's decision between this and an SUV. Fuel efficiency.
Yes, so something that is super interesting is, of course, this vehicle, because it is smaller, it's going to perform better for fuel efficiency, but it does have a slightly bigger fuel tank than the Seltos. This one is 53 liters, the Seltos is 50 liters, so not only are you going to get a little bit more in there, but it's going to take the vehicle further.
You can go further with the
Forte. Go further with the Forte. Make that their slogan. And a great way to do that is actually by using smart mode. What that's going to do is it's going to kind of manually change the configuration of the vehicle and how it drives to put it in the most fuel efficient route or fuel efficient configuration for your driving. Other than that, we'll go down and then we'll go up. Here's your center console. I almost forgot what it was called for a minute. Decently sized. It's about the depth of my hand. So you have a fair bit of room in there. And as we look up, You can see we've got our controls for Kia Connect, so roadside assistance, and then also emergency. But it's got a sunglass holder.
Oh my goodness.
So if that's not a reason to get this car, I don't know what is.
You know
'cause
what?
It still has a sunglass holder.
You can't get this in the Seltos, but you can get it in the Forte5.
You can. It's true. It's great. We also have a lovely powered sunroof too. So there we go.
We have it on tilt right now. However, you can actually open it completely or shut it. The cover itself, though, is manual, so you'll have to pull that back.
Perfect. Well, let's hop into the back seat.
All right. So I have this side folded down still, but I'll film Charlotte from here and then we'll pull it back up to show the center seat.
We still got some plastic back here.
Yes.
Now, I did move this seat all the way back to show the minimum amount of legroom that you will get in this vehicle, and I am actually pleasantly surprised and almost shocked at how much room there still is. You can see I still have a fair bit of legroom even though I'm wearing heels, which of course brings my knees up a fair bit more. But very comfortable back here as well. You have the same leather and cloth combination seats, which are very comfortable even being here in the rear. And your seats, they can recline or straighten a little bit for you too. In the center, it might be hard to show with the seat down.
Let's bring her up.
Yeah.
Someone actually just asked, I believe it was Ganesh, how the seats fold down. So on both the left and right side, you'll have these tabs. Give them a pull. These seats will move 60 and then that one will move 40. So they move separately.
Just this one, perfect. But you can see that we do have rear vents back here, so you're making sure that you are getting air circulation, whether that be air conditioning or heat. And then also down at the bottom, we have a USB. So everyone has a way to charge their phone and also get some airflow back here. We have a leather or a cargo net pocket on the rear of the passenger, and here's your cup holders. Perfect.
Ooh.
Cup holders and armrest combination, very standard. And again, you have a pretty decently wide middle seat too. So no matter where you are in this vehicle, you are going to have a fair bit of space, despite it being a hatchback and generally a smaller vehicle. So definitely an excellent contender against an SUV, specifically the Seltos.
And just for reference, I do have a regular sedan Forte here. So you can take a look. Obviously 4 doors, but a sedan style body. And then with the Forte5, we get the same amount of space, same features, but we get the party in the back. And of course the rear wiper blade too. So styling wise, it looks way different, only from the back at least. And then there is no straight GT trim on the Forte sedan. So it's only GT Limited or Line, that's it.
There we go.
Ooh. All right, we'll now take a look at some of the questions and see what you guys have to say. And if you would consider this vehicle over something like, I don't know, the Kia Seltos. I just saw a question about the MSRP, and the 2024 GT is priced at $29,995. So $29,095.
I'm just gonna grab my phone because I forgot my iPad today. That way I can see some questions.
She's actually just texting.
Yeah.
All right. Someone said, I can't believe the availability of a sunglass holder is what's influencing me between 2 vehicles. You better believe it.
Honestly, it's facts.
That's the way this world's coming to. Let's see. View Lance Incorporated said, the Kia Forte5 GT is a compact hatchback with a sporty design. Couldn't have said it better.
That was excellent.
We should have just opened the video with that.
Yeah. The next question is going to be, give us your best summaries of this video.
And then Ganesh also asked warranty on these, please. So here in Canada, these vehicles are 5 years, 100,000 kilometers of comprehensive and powertrain warranty. Let's see.
Just scrolling through everything. A couple people own Fortes that are here representing. That's awesome. Martin Griggs said, just bought a white 2024 Kia Forte GT and I love it. That's awesome.
Ryan's on, and Ryan does own a 2023 Kia Forte GT Limited, so the sedan version of this, but same engine, same transmission, same idea, but a little bit more premium. So he's going to have the leather sport bucket seats, the ventilated seats, which you can also get on the Forte5 if you can find one. CT Anthony said, I had the 7-speed dual clutch transmission on the Forte GT2 and I didn't like how it shifted from idle. It was fine once you got going though. So that is something that's common amongst the dual clutch transmission. And if you're unfamiliar with it, it can feel almost like you're driving with someone who is just learning manual. It can feel a little bit jerky, especially at low speeds or once you throw it into reverse. Something you definitely get used to and something that you have to kind of be aware of. You're not supposed to let this vehicle crawl. You have to be in motion. So just for the longevity of the dual clutch transmission, try to avoid creeping your vehicle. Don't creep it out. Now let's scroll down a bit.
It's the Forte 5 only in Canada. Pretty much. I maybe in some other countries overseas under a different name.
Yes, but for the States, no.
Yeah, we know it's not in the U.S.
Unless you export it somehow.
Yeah, true.
TRD Rev4 said, yeah, dual clutch, no bueno in traffic. It's not the most ideal for someone who combats a lot of stop and go traffic for sure, unless you know how to drive it.
I see a question asking about the cost of insurance. We cannot answer that because insurance is going to depend on where you live, what car you drive, and your personal driving history. So unfortunately, we can't really answer that for you. We're not insurance agents.
I will say, especially here in Ontario, depending on what city you live in, it can change majorly. Like majorly. John Mark Polo said, hi, Charlotte and Gabby. Does your dealer now hiring for a sales consultant? I'd like to apply.
Do we have a listing up?
I believe so.
Oh, there you go.
So, yes, you can certainly apply, even if you want to come by and drop in a resume.
You know where we are, Banfer Kia.
214 Linden Road. Let's see.
Dale said, only a third likes. Come on, folks.
Yeah,
Thanks,
guys.
Dale.
If you're on right now and you learned something about the Forte5 GT, or even if you didn't learn something and you're just really excited to see the mullet of Kias, please leave a like. This is our last hatchback vehicle.
Yes. Yeah.
That's sad.
Because the Rio is gone, so if you want to get into... This car is great for multiple reasons. Number one, the GT, obviously, super fun.
Yes.
But it's an excellent commuter vehicle, and it really gets the job done. It's great for bopping around town, bopping around on the highway. Super fun.
Oh, Javi Carsalmer said, today I was about to ask you about this particular car. What's the difference between this GT model and the 2024 EX Plus? So if you're talking about the Forte EX Plus, not the Forte 5, there are quite a few differences. The Forte is going to, of course, be a sedan. It's also going to have a keyed ignition, so not a push to start. You'll also have a difference in engine and transmission. So this one, of course, is turbocharged with the 7-speed dual clutch. The Forte EX Plus would be a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine with an IVT transmission, so a bit of a smoother ride. This one is a bit more fun, if you will. For interior, you'll still have cloth, you just won't have those red accents. And yeah. There's quite a few other differences. If you are curious to see what the EX Plus looks like, we've done tons of videos on it. Just have a search on our YouTube channel, and I'm sure you'll find tons of content on it. Let's see. Viewland said, Gabby, your outfit matches with the vehicle.
Perfect.
It always does, and it's never planned, I promise.
MG said the Cerato in Saudi's market. So that's what I assumed it was overseas.
Yes. Let's see. I love my 2017 Forte 5 EX Luxury. Yeah, so the Forte 5 has actually been around for a while, since you mentioned 2017. We've loved the Forte 5 for a while, and I really hope they don't axe this car, because there's been a common trend of axing all my favorites.
I know. Well, especially when you're in North America and the bulk of what people purchase is their trucks or SUVs, it's hard seeing cars like this. But it's a contender. Kia Canada, please. Watch this video.
Please.
MG said, wait, where's your iPad, Charlotte? I left it at home. I forgot it today.
Mark Wilson asked earlier if it's available with the standard transmission. At this point, it is not. However, in the past, you were able to get the GT Forte with a manual.
I think it might still be available in the States, manual.
Well, not in a GT. Yeah. Well, not in a Forte 5,
yeah,
sorry.
That's what okay.
Let's see. I kind of wish they didn't name it the Forte 5, because it gets a little too confusing for us sometimes. But I still love
Forte
it.
4, Forte 5.
Yeah.
Forte.
But no one calls it the Forte 4.
I know.
However, that's how
I call it the Forte, but... And if you say Forte, I know what you're meaning.
Yeah,
But if you say Forte 5, I'm like, okay, I know what you mean.
Let's see. I think that's probably it for today's video, question-wise. Now, if you left a question or if you're watching this in the future and were unable to ask us live, please leave it down below as a regular YouTube comment, and I promise we will at least see it.
Try to answer.
We'll try to answer. However, if you want to join us live again, we go live every single weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, tomorrow's video will be a new Hyundai vehicle. However, we will be back to Kia programming on Friday.
Woohoo.
Woo! Again, if there's anything we may have missed, please let us know down below. And please tell us if you'd consider the Forte 5 over
An SUV.
a smaller SUV. Now, take care. Have a good rest of your day. We hope to see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Oh no.